Tonight on the NTV Evening News Hour, police are searching for a male suspect after a violent robbery in Mount Pearl. The NDP call on the government to do more to close the pay equity gap.
In 2026, it's really quite unbelievable.
And two business owners in Grand Falls, Windsor rebuild after a water line break.
What happened here is a giant flood happened here, and there's 3 feet of water that just rushed in.
Your weekend weather forecast is shaping up to be pretty good province-wide, but the week ahead is looking even better. We'll get into all the details together coming up.
The award-winning NTV Evening News Hour with Tony Marie Wiseman, Michael Connors, and your weather forecast with Ryan Harding.
Good evening. Police are searching for a male suspect after a robbery in broad daylight in Mount Pearl this morning.
Now, police say the man approached a woman on a walking trail. He pulled out a weapon and tried to take her belongings. The incident happened around 9:30 this morning in the Carroll Drive area of Mount Pearl. The woman was treated by paramedics for minor injuries. It's believed that the suspect and the victim do not know each other. The male suspect has not yet been found. He's described as being thin, tall, Caucasian, and was wearing a black hoodie and black pants. Anyone with information or video footage in the area near Richard Nolan Drive is being asked to contact the RNC or Crime Stoppers.
A new report has found Newfoundland and Labrador has the second highest pay equity gap in Canada. The NDP is calling on the province to strengthen pay equity laws, raise the minimum wage, and invest in childcare and home care. NTV's Bailey Howard has the story.
In Newfoundland and Labrador, women made 76 cents for every dollar a man made in 2025. That's according to a new report by the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives.
In 2026, it's really quite unbelievable.
The report, titled Closing the Gaps, Gender Pay Inequity in Atlantic Canada, shows the province has the largest pay gap in Atlantic Canada and the second largest in Canada, followed only by Alberta. NDP MHA Sheila O'Leary called the findings incredibly disappointing.
It's not good enough. We really need to do better.
Pay equity legislation was introduced in the province in 2022. O'Leary touted former NDP MHA Jerry Rogers as well as local women's groups for pushing for the legislation. Now she'd like to see regulations implemented to accompany it.
Once you put something into legislation, that's one successful thing that can happen. However, if you don't follow up, there was an intergovernmental committee that never met throughout this period. The legislation represented the public sector, but not the private sector. So there's certainly a huge gap there. And of course, we're seeing even the extra layers of inequity with racialized and Indigenous women as well.
O'Leary says with women taking on most of the unpaid childcare and home care, that leads to women making up 66% of part-time workers. She's calling on the PC government to invest in childcare, healthcare and home care to help alleviate pressure on residents.
I will continue to be a very strong voice in this because we should not be seeing this kind of inequity.
NTV News has reached out to the Department of Women and Gender Equality. Bailey Howard, NTV News.
Premier Tony Wakeham says he's going to fix a policy that made it harder for parents to access their children's medical records beginning at the age of 12. As NTV's Ben Cleary tells us tonight, the Child and Youth Advocate would like to have seen better communication from the Health Authority as the framework was being worked out.
The provincial government did not create the policy, but they will fix it. That's the word from Premier Tony Wakeham's office after public backlash mounted against a policy being put forward for youth aged 12 to 15. Under the policy, parents or legal guardians could request proxy access to medical records only with the youth's consent. In a statement from the Premier's office, Wakeham said they will fix what was described as a fundamental misalignment between existing rules and expectations of families.
But certainly we would have liked to see probably better communication with parents and young people, and probably some better explanation in terms of that to to address some of these concerns, of course, that folks have come through in the media.
The province's Child and Youth Advocate says the new policy needed to be better communicated. Many parents found out in a letter sent out by NL Health Services. Wilma McInnes says her office will look at how similar policies have been rolled out in other provinces.
And we want to see how core care, how this has rolled out and impacted, I guess, other families in other provinces that also use core care. So that's sort of what we're looking at as well right now.
In a statement from the Premier's office, Wakeham said they have heard from families across the province and will ensure the law supports parents and guardians while protecting youth and children. Ben Cleary, NTV News.
2 new business owners in Grand Falls, Windsor are rebuilding today after a water line break. NTV's Colleen Lewis has more.
Josephine Guy and Wendy Morgan are both new business owners on High Street in Grand Falls, Windsor. But last week, the dreams they were building ended up under several feet of floodwater when a town water line beneath their building broke open.
What happened here is a giant flood happened here, and there's 3 feet of water that just rushed in, tore the baseboards off the whole building. There's 3 feet of water. The town really had to act to get that water to stop, and everything was washed away. We had baseboards out in the street. We had massage things out in the street.
It's all
floating. We had art supplies out in the street.
Today, Josephine's business has reopened at a new location, but it's expected to take thousands of dollars to put things back the way she had them.
Helped me this weekend, so I'm like a superwoman after the flood. I never stopped, and my brain was like, I don't want to cancel any more clients that are waiting for a treatment.
The owner of the property had insurance, but neither of the businesswomen had tenants insurance.
Well, we're grateful that our building owner has insurance, and he's covered that way. He's been very kind to us, trying to sympathetic to our rebuild, but ourselves, we were not insured. We didn't have tenant insurance, and that's something that we wish we had had.
Now the community is coming together to help out.
That, we curate things to our customer. We can't just open up shop and offer the same product that we were when we were beautiful and we had beautiful walls and spaces. We have to curate it to make sure that our customers have an experience, and hers was very healing and mine was very funky and creative.
Wendy Morgan's Art Emporium was scheduled to open in July.
We're very touched by the amount of support in Grand Falls, Windsor.
Josephine has reopened her business at another location, but Wendy says it's probably going to take her at least 3 months before she's able to finally open. For NTV News, I'm Colleen Lewis in Grand Falls, Windsor.
St. John's Pride launched its new Rainbow headquarters this afternoon. It's a community space and home base for operations during this year's festival, which is less than 2 weeks away.
It's the first time that we've ever had a space where we can centralize ourselves, and I think this really highlights how we're moving towards greater sustainability with the festival and with the organization. But it also does a lot for visibility, like the fact that we've taken over a space on Harvey Road and we're here and we're President's branded all throughout it and all outside of it. That in itself does really great things for visibility, and to go into a space and take it over for something like Pride is actually in itself an act of radical protest. The festival goes from July 8th through to the 19th. It's going to be an awesome, awesome time, and we just want to thank all of the people in the community for the lift that they're doing to deliver all these spaces. We're just a bunch of volunteers. We do it for the love of the game, and we're so thankful for all of these other partners to come in and create these spaces.
A wildfire that started yesterday in Labrador is still out of control and has grown significantly in size. The Orway fire is now covering 470 hectares. The nearest community is roughly 35 kilometers from the fire. The province has issued a fire ban for Labrador City and the surrounding area as the fire index is set at very high.
A new garden is officially open on the grounds of the Gathering Place in St. John's. As NTV's Beth Penny tells us, it's a place for people to come together during what's expected to be a busy summer of need for the non-profit organization.
May the new life that will emerge in this garden every spring be a constant reminder that no matter our age or health status, we are always being called to new beginnings.
It's more than just planting a seed or growing strawberries and lettuce. The Hopeful Garden is a space where guests of the Gathering Place can learn new skills or simply relax in a peaceful environment.
Quite often, a lot of guests really don't know what they're capable of doing. They've been told for a long time that they don't have skills and they don't have the ability to give back. And so we want to teach people how to do that and life skills so they can be growing themselves. It could also be maybe future employment.
Oh, I think it's lovely. I think it's going to be great for the community, people just to come together, work on the garden.
Doug Somerton has been using services at the Gathering Place for more than a decade and says he always enjoys the effort that staff put into their programming. He's looking forward to learning a little bit more about gardening and says it brings him back to his childhood.
Doing this is bringing back memories of when my nan and pop used to be in their garden, you know, and I used to be just a little fellow watching them. It was, you know, and it's nice.
The number of people coming to the Gathering Place has increased by 50% in the past 4 years. And about 6 months ago, Colin McNeil was named as the nonprofit's new executive director. He says it's been a busy but rewarding start to the new role.
The Gathering Place right now has about 3,500 registered guests, and that number continues to grow each month. And the short time that I've been here, I've seen that number grow by about 200. In the month of May, we served over 18,000 meals in May. That's an all-time high for us. We've had days where we've served over 700 meals, which, when you think about that, that's astronomical. The need, the complexity of some of the guests that we're seeing and their needs are very great, and it's programming like this that will, you know, give them some hope, give them some sense of purpose, and enable them to participate in things they may not have the opportunity to do so.
Officials at the Gathering Place are looking for gardeners who might be willing to volunteer their time to share some of their expertise with participants here at the Gathering Place. Beth Penny, NTV News.
North American markets end the trading week on a mostly lower note. The TSX, though, was up 130 points to 34,980, and the Venture Exchange up 1 point to 896. The Dow fell 45 points to 51,876, and the Nasdaq was off by 61 to 25,298. Gold up $39.51 to $4,066.24 U.S. an ounce. Brent crude oil dropped $3.08 to $72.18 U.S. per barrel. The Canadian dollar up 0.09 to 70.51 cents U.S. Fortis up 57 cents a share to $82.50. Labrador iron ore up 4 cents to $28.44, and Altius Minerals closing up $1.39, ending the week at $61.17.
Tonight's weather brought to you by...
Check out the GMC 0% event. Get 0% financing on select 2026 GMC models and trims. See your dealer for details.
Well, weather-wise, not a bad way to end the week.
Not at all. 16 degrees right now, a beautiful sunny day. That's why Mary Kate's inside, because as you and I know, Mary Kate, when you're out on live television, the last thing you want is for the sun to be in your face. So, you know, the sunglasses and stuff. So you're inside, but that's nice.
I'm inside, but that is nice, like you said. And yeah, I just can't do it. I'm a squinter. My eyes fill up with tears, everything. So we bring showers to this nice evening, which I don't want to do. So we're going to start inside, and we're going to take a look at our satellite radar here now, because as you mentioned, it is a beautiful day here in the eastern portion of the island, but it's kind of beautiful island-wide, really. There's a little bit of cloud coverage here. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see it, and a little bit of precipitation on its way for western areas areas as well as the south coast there in Port aux Basques. And we're seeing some showers for the big land as well, with a risk of thunder showers there as temperatures are a little bit on the higher side. So there's a little bit of good in that for sure when we say there's higher temperatures there, but of course risk of thunder showers continuing, but that's going to ease up in the overnight now. But we are going to see a risk of thunder showers continuing for different regions in the province, as I mentioned in first edition, as those temperatures get a little bit higher while we have some moisture in the air as well. So it does look to be a very good weekend weather-wise, minus a little bit of showers here and there, and especially if you are on the Port aux Basques area, or the south coast area, I should say, you are going to see showers mostly throughout your weekend. So let's dive right into it. For eastern portions for the island for tonight, we are going to see some lighter winds, 20 to 25 kilometers an hour, but it is going to cool off just a little bit from what we saw today, a low of 8 here in the capital city, 10 in Gander, and then in central areas, we are going to see a chance of showers developing overnight and bringing into your tomorrow. So here in St. John's, we are going to see a chance of showers to start your day, and that's spanning all the way out to Marystown and central areas, but nice temperatures nonetheless. And once that chance of showers kind of subsides by the afternoon, we are going to see a nice mixture of sun and cloud again tomorrow with some light winds there. Moving into central and western areas for tonight, as I mentioned, for Port aux Basques, you are going to have showers starting overnight tonight and lasting very well throughout your weekend. Grand Falls, Windsor, Corner Brook, all the way up to St. Anthony. A chance of showers for you. Kind of mostly clear for the northern peninsula, but a chance of showers is possible as well for you folks. Southwesterly winds 5 to 10 kilometers an hour for tonight, so some light winds there. As we move into tomorrow, those light winds are going to continue and make for a very nice day. As I mentioned, chance of showers to start your morning and then making for a nice mixture of sun and cloud. But for Grand Falls, Windsor, and central areas, it looks as though that chance of showers is going to stick around a little bit longer for you folks. So throughout the afternoon and into your evening, you might have a chance of showers, a little bit of light showers here and there, but mostly just a mixture of sun and cloud province-wide tomorrow. So that is good news with some nice high temperatures. 22 there in Grand Falls, Windsor, 20 in Corner Brook, and 20 there in St. Anthony as well. As we move into the Labrador for tonight, that's where we're seeing those risk of thunder showers kind of picking up for the weekend. That's where it's going to start and make its way down across the island by Sunday. So here, as you can see in the interior, especially as we had those higher temperatures today with that mixture of moisture, a little chance of showers there, making for those risk of thunder showers. That's spanning out there to the southern coast, as you can see, with some higher winds, 30 to 50 kilometers an hour. Chance of showers there in the Nain area as well. But as we move into tomorrow, that chance of thunder showers should subside and turn into just a chance of showers. But of course, as we do have moisture and higher temperatures, that risk is always there. As you can see in Happy Valley Goose Bay, a high of 26 tomorrow, 24 in Churchill Falls and Labrador City. So that chance is there for thunder showers to kind of pick up again tomorrow, and very much the same as Sunday as we move into some warmer days with a mixture of moisture. Light winds there along the coast, and very much the same for the interior, 10 to 15 kilometers an hour for tomorrow. As we move into our 5-day forecast, we're going to get into this a little bit more the next time we get together, but it is really looking like we are going to have some nice temperatures island-wide, province-wide really, for the next week. Looking a little bit nicer on the island, but we are going to see nicer temperatures and sunshine across the province. So let's just take a little quick look here now for your weekend. As I mentioned, for Eastern, we are going to see a chance of showers to start your day, both Saturday and Sunday, but mostly sun and cloud. Very much the same for central Newfoundland. We are going to see some chance of showers, some late showers to start your day, but nice high temperatures and a mixture of sun and cloud as well. Very much the same throughout the week, nice high temperatures there. For western Newfoundland, mostly showers to start your morning tomorrow and then cloudy conditions, but that sun will creep in, and you will see that on Sunday as well, with just a chance of showers for you. And for Labrador, as I mentioned, we are going to see kind of cooler temperatures, a little bit more moisture there along the south coast, but we are seeing a chance of showers basically everywhere to start your day, Saturday and Sunday, but it is going to make for a nice mixture of sun and cloud and some nice temperatures. But when we get back together, Michael and Tony Marie, we're going to dive into what next week looks like, because it really looks like summer, finally.
Can't wait. See you then, Mary Kate. A trailway on the west coast has recently had some major improvements. It's a route that'll soon take you from Corner Brook to Pasadena. As NTV's Becky Daly tells us, the region has been calling for it for quite some time.
Big for the region. It's a long time coming. A lot of people want it, and we finally were able to get this off the ground.
It's an emotional day for one family whose legacy will live on this trail. Warren Han was a trail groomer and operator who passed away a year and a half ago. This new bridge is dedicated to him and his hard work on the trail.
Han's Bridge.
It's just overwhelming, and we're forever grateful, and it'll be here for a very long time. And the days I travel my skidoo over this bridge, I'll be also thinking about that.
My father isn't here to appreciate everything they've done for him, but they're also here appreciating everything Dad has done for the Western Snow Riders over the period of 20 plus years that he was with them.
Truly honored to have this bridge put in his memory.
The first phase of the trail starts at Lewin Parkway near Watson's Pond in Corner Brook. Phase 2 will travel up over Marble Mountain and then on to Steady Brook and Pasadena.
The trail is an existing trail, but it's not multi-purpose. It's not a seasonal trail. It's only for snowmobiles. And it's a lot of rocks and stumps and bog holes and issues. So having it improved now will improve grooming in the winter, make it safer for our riders. And then the spin-off of that is it opens up to ATVers, mountain bikers, hikers.
It's a joint project that involved many volunteers and other contributors who made this path forward possible for the region.
The total value of the project is at $1.1 million. This bridge we're standing on was $180,000, which was provided by Western Snow Riders and the Snowmobile Federation, so that was kind of our contribution to the project. The province came in as a contributor, as well as the federal government through OCOA. So all told, it's partnerships, provincial and federal government, and the local snowmobile club and the provincial snowmobile federation.
And the city of Corner Brook is also welcoming the new and improved route.
Our trailblazers are definitely happy to have this news out today. You're still going to have some people who are going to complain about the ATVs on the streets in the city or wherever. However, in order to be able to move from point A to point B, we need our trails opened.
And as for phase 2 of this newly constructed trail, they're hopeful that that will be completed by the fall, which will mean riders will be able to travel from Corner Brook all the way to Pasadena. For NTV News, I'm Becky Daly in Corner Brook.
The RNC arrested 3 men Tuesday after becoming aware of a gas and dash in a stolen school bus. Just after 7 in the morning in Conception Bay South, the RNC responded to someone who pumped gas without paying. The driver then fled in a stolen school bus along the CBS highway. The bus was later found on Minerals Road in the town. As a result of the investigation, 3 men were arrested and are being held in custody to appear in provincial court.
The 25-year-old woman driving an RV was ticketed and the vehicle impounded after a hit-and-run collision in Stephenville yesterday. Around 1:30 in the afternoon, Bay St. George RCMP received a report that an RV had struck and damaged another vehicle and drove away. No one was injured. Officers found the RV not long after and determined it wasn't registered or insured. The Barishwa Brook woman driving was fined under the Highway Traffic Act for failing to stop at the scene of an accident, along with driving a vehicle without insurance or registration. The investigation is continuing. Still ahead in tonight's news, Sharon Snow takes us to the Newfoundland Pharmacy Museum in places to go. Mary Kate O'Neill tells us about a robotics competition in your community. And when we come back on The Inside Story, the Child and Youth Advocate talks technology and kids. This is the NTV Evening News Hour. Welcome back to the NTV Evening News Hour. Tonight on The Inside Story, I sat down with the province's new Child and Youth Advocate, Wilma McInnes, this week. I asked her about the proposed social media ban and parental access to kids' health records.
I mean, it is so huge, and I mean, so huge now, of course, that the federal government is looking at legislation, right, in terms of safer social media. And, what we'd be looking for in any change, certainly because our mandate would be provincial, we'd be looking for measurable accountability, because what we see is that there hasn't really been responsibility or accountability or even transparency from some of the companies or the social media platforms. And I think, that's where the responsibility rests, right? It needs to be there. And instead of I guess, the companies reacting to harm, they need to be focusing on preventing harm right at the onset, right? And, and that can only happen through safer design and those like stronger defaults and having a child-focused mindset right from the onset. Like, how do we protect them instead of, young people having to try to protect themselves and mitigate that. So we'll certainly be looking for that and real measures, right, that account for real change that will protect young people. And, and no doubt young people may want to have, I would think would want to have a say in terms of what that looks like as well. And we often say at the office, as I talked about earlier in terms of engagement, I mean, to make meaningful change that young people will follow through on. I mean, you need to involve them, and get some of their ideas as well.
Technology is changing in so many different areas. Another issue this week, I guess the healthcare system has this new core care system, My Health app. The official opposition issued a statement this week, I guess, calling for better consultation with parents on the issue of accessing their children's health information when they're above the age of 12. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, and that's the issue that has come up this week. I mean, it's certainly something that we too now are looking into in terms of that balance of access and, of course, the right to privacy for young people. So it's something that we're following up on as well. But certainly we would have liked to see probably better communication with parents and young people, and probably some better explanation in terms of that to address some of these concerns, of course, that folks have come through in the media. So no doubt, I mean, yeah, that transparency and communication I think is so important when rolling out something new.
So is this something you're studying further, or?
Very much so, yeah. We are looking at this as well. And we want to see how core care, how this has rolled out and impacted, I guess, other families in other provinces that also use core care. So that's sort of what we're looking at as well right now.
The federal government is launching a national design and build competition to rehabilitate and modernize 24 Sussex Drive, nearly 11 years after the last Prime Minister lived at that official residence in Ottawa. With more, here is CTV's Abigail Beeman.
This home is just 1 year younger than Canada. The Prime Minister describes it now as barely held together.
A rare look inside the official residence of the Prime Minister that ended up full of dead rodents, asbestos and mold.
We will not let it crumble. We will set it right.
The Prime Minister announced a competition for Canadian firms to present design and construction plans, with famous Canadian architect Moshe Safdie chairing a jury to assess them.
It's an extraordinary site with extraordinary potential. I think something wonderful can be developed here.
The government believes the cost will be under $50 million and will fundraise most or all of that, promising rules to avoid conflicts.
Individuals and philanthropic organizations, no corporate donations. The list of donors will be public. There will be a limit.
Former occupants Jean Chrétien and Stephen Harper will offer advice. In a statement, Harper told CTV News he's pleased the decision was taken to preserve the property.
Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, who, when they were renegotiating the Constitution to patriate it in 1982, he was in Sussex Drive when Jean Chrétien was making the phone calls back to him to say, is this the deal we want?
Author J.D.M. Stewart says the building is critical to Canadian history.
It is a place where all of our prime ministers since 1951 have made a lot of the decisions and done a lot of the work and greeted heads of government and heads of state from around the world.
When I see the homelessness on our streets and I see the young people who are desperate to start families but can't get a house to do it, I just think the last thing on our minds should be 24 Sussex Drive.
The winning design will be announced on Canada Day next year, 2027. No word on how soon a future Prime Minister could move in. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Tonight's weather brought to you by Come From Away Gander. 25 years ago, the skies closed on 9/11. This is the story of the town that opened its doors.
Well, taking a look at this live shot now, I think I would have been just fine out live tonight because that cloud coverage that I talked about is certainly setting in here now in eastern portions of the island, and it looks like we're going to have increased cloudiness here in the capital city and areas overnight, but a pretty nice evening following a pretty nice day, and it looks as though it's going to be a pretty nice weekend as well, a nice week ahead. So let's dive right into some current conditions across North America now. As I mentioned, a nice day here in St. John's, high of 18 with a mix of sun and cloud there. And looking across to our friends, 26 in Winnipeg, 22 in Calgary, and 15 in Vancouver. Looks like a little bit of rain there and cloud coverage as well. But very nice day, as I mentioned, 36 there in Dallas, 21 in Los Angeles, and it looks like just kind of a mix of sun and cloud there across. Really, really nice day, and we're looking to have a very nice evening and weekend as well, as I mentioned, especially here in eastern portions of the island. Looking as a low of 8 here in St. John's, 8 in Carbonera, 10 in Gander, and we are going to see out in Gander areas there a little bit of chance of showers in the overnight. Southwesterly winds 20 to 25 kilometers an hour, and moving into tomorrow, we are going to have a chance of showers, as I've been mentioning, kind of spanning across the island in areas of Labrador as well to start your day tomorrow, but it will subside throughout your afternoon and make for a nice day of a mix of sun and cloud. 19 there in St. John's for tomorrow, 22 in Gander with some lighter winds for tomorrow, 10 to 15 kilometers an hour. As we look into central and western areas for tonight, we are going to see a chance of showers developing for different areas. For western areas, we are going to see a chance of showers developing in the overnight. In Port aux Basques, you're going to see showers developing here this evening and lasting throughout the weekend. We'll get into that a little bit later on. St. Anthony, it looks like to be a very clear night for you folks, but as that chance of showers develops in western areas, it can span out to you. Light winds 5 to 10 kilometers an hour. And then tomorrow, we're going to have some light winds as well, 5 to 10 sticking around, and that kind of like a mix you're going to get, especially in central areas. You are going to have a chance of showers spanning out through most of your day, but it will be a mix of sun and cloud on top of that as well. For western areas, we are going to see that mix of kind of sunshine, cloud coverage with some showers subside for you in the morning, and it's looking to be very clear for the northern peninsula. But Port aux Basques areas, as I mentioned, you will see the sunshine a little bit peeking out, but mostly just showers for you folks. As we move into Labrador for tonight, we are having a risk of thunder showers, especially there in the interior after such a nice hot day. So as that moisture moved in and making for a risk of those thunder showers, very much the same there along the south coast. As we move into tomorrow, it's going to be a lovely day again, but we are going to have a chance of showers to start your day as well. And of course, with those higher temperatures, we can see a risk of thunder showers developing again for you folks. And that's going to develop for many different regions for Sunday. We are going to see it here in Labrador, but we are also going to see it in the island portion of the province as well, especially in central and western regions as those temperatures get a little bit higher and make for a nicer day, but we have that moisture in the forecast as well. So let's dive into the weekend now when we look at our 5-day forecast, because as I mentioned, the weekend in the next week looks very nice depending on your region. So higher temperatures for the weekend and mostly sun and cloud here for eastern, and then as we move into our week, Tuesday, Wednesday is looking very, very nice. Some higher temperatures with some sunshine. Very much the same for central Newfoundland, but we're going to have some showers in the mix there with those high temperatures, but a nice high of 27 by Tuesday and Wednesday, which is lovely. Western Newfoundland looks like the Monday into Wednesday is going to be the nicer day for you folks. Some nice, beautiful sunshine there on Tuesday. And as we move into Labrador, we are looking to have some very high temperatures there, especially in the interior, for a mixture of some nice days. But of course, we are going to have some showers here and there, but it's looking to be mostly just sun and cloud and nice high temperatures for next week.
The Texas Rangers earned a series-opening 6-5 win over the Toronto Blue Jays last night. Here are the highlights.
Top 3, 2 on for Wyatt Langford. This one will clear the fence in left center field for a 3-run shot. Peterson was on first. He's taking his sweet time again. Langford almost catches up to him. Rounding the bases. 4-0 Texas. Now 6-3 Texas in the bottom of the 9th. Man on for Kazuma Okamoto. Rips one to dead center field. It actually goes off the batter's eye, off the top of Langford's head, back over the wall for his 18th home run. Makes it a 1-run game. And then with the Jays down to their final out, Brandon Valenzuela pinch hitting. Takes a fastball down the middle for strike three, and he knows it. Jays drop it. 6-5, the final.
We're going to take a break now. The NTV Evening News Hour. Do stay with us. When we come back, Sharon Snow is going to be here with this week's Places to Go. And this week, she takes us inside Apothecary Hall.
Welcome back to the NTV Evening News Hour. Tonight in Places to Go, Sharon Snow visits the Newfoundland Pharmacy Museum to explore the stories and people behind the profession in Newfoundland and Labrador.
This evening on our Places to Go, we are visiting the Newfoundland Pharmacy Museum. It's located here on Water Street West, and joining me is the leading coordinator, Bronwyn. So lovely to be here.
Nice to meet you.
Well, this is such a cool place. I have been intrigued by your socials on Instagram that I have seen. So it has encouraged me to come for a little visit. Thank you for showing us around this evening.
Absolutely.
All right, so here we are in this beautiful building. Tell us first of all a little bit about the building.
Okay, so this place was a pharmacy in 1922, and it was owned by a pharmacist called Peter O'Mara. In 1980, it became a museum, and the museum was funded and established by his nephew, James O'Mara.
All right, so that's about the building. Tell us about all of the things that we see here.
So this used to be brought on ships that came in through the harbor and had everything you might need for about a 6-month to 1-year voyage. And so these are our first aid kits and home medicine chests. And these are some of our oldest items. They're from 1850, and they had compounds that you could mix medicines yourself.
This looks like prescriptions to me.
Exactly. So this is our prescription table. It shows the way that they used to handle prescriptions as they came over the counter.
And there's even a history of vaccines here.
Yes. So they used to hand vaccines to nurses and doctors when they needed them. This is some of our newest items. They're from 1973. And this here is the compounding side of the museum. So this shows the different instruments that they would use to make the medicines. The bottles that you see on the walls are actually ingredients for making the medicines, because every pharmacy back then was a compounding pharmacy. So they had scales, which very obviously was used to measure out items. The mortar and pestle was a symbol of pharmacy, famous for many, many years. This was used for making ointments and creams and things that you'd put inside capsules. This is a pill making machine that we have a demonstration for, that we show people when they come for the museum, where they used to make pills. This here is a cachet machine. So a cachet is a type of dosage form that's not used anymore. They would open it up and layer rice paper, powder, and then rice paper again, and they would make a bag that they then would dip in water and swallow. It was a type of capsule, so they didn't have to taste the powder.
So from the show globes, there's one final bit of business that you get to enjoy, while you come visit the Newfoundland Pharmacy Museum. Tell us about that.
Yes, so it's the Cod Liver Oil Challenge. Here you can try a bit of cod liver oil and get a certificate for trying it out.
All right, kind of like a screech in.
Yes. Talk about the history of taking cod liver oil every day, which a lot of kids had to do here in Newfoundland.
People want to get more information and want to come visit this beautiful place. When are you open?
We're open from 10 to 5, Tuesday to Sunday.
All right, okay. Are we ready to take the cod liver oil challenge?
So together, let's say the line. Are you ready?
Okay. Oh, doctor, oh, dear Dr. John, your cod liver oil is so pure and so strong.
Here we go. Oh, it's great.
Oh my goodness.
Congratulations on surviving the Cod Liver Oil Challenge.
I get the certificate. Thank you so much. This has been wonderful.
Thank you for coming.
It is the Newfoundland Pharmacy Museum here on Water Street West, and it is a place to go.
Your community, brought to you in part by Atlantic Lottery's iGames. Play hundreds of games on the Atlantic Lottery app or at alc.ca.
The 2026 Marine Advanced Technology Education ROV World Competition is being held right here in St. John's. And with the international competition soon wrapping up, we head to the Marine Institute tonight in your community to check it all out.
Yeah, everyone, yeah, almost.
Hard to keep count. I think we have 84 teams here from 17 different countries. Probably you added them all up with their mentors and coaches. I'm saying we're seeing 1,000+ people here.
So this is the MATE ROV Competition World Championship. So the best of the best, all of our regional events, including the regional that's held here in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador, coordinated by Mr. Joe Singleton. All of these regionals produce winners that then advance to the World Championship. So this is the best of the best. We started this week on Tuesday afternoon with check-in and safety checks. So safety checks, very important when you're dealing with underwater robotics. Safety checks, check-in continued through Wednesday, Thursday morning, which was yesterday, right? We had opening ceremonies, and then what I like to say is controlled chaos as the teams find their way to their workstations, get their ROVs set up, and get ready to put them in the flume tank here at the Marine Institute or at the NRC, the National Research Council Canada's facilities in the offshore engineering basin. And we're also using the deep tank at Memorial University's engineering building.
So there is lots going on for sure. Controlled chaos, I think you said, which is nice. There's so much going on here behind you, but I love it. So tell me how really you're going to see so many people coming through these doors continuously taking part in these competitions.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the third time that we have hosted the World Championship here in St. John's, 2007, 2015, and now 2026. And so they are coming in and out. You can see we're getting almost run over by an ROV. That might be a new song, right? So in addition to operating their ROVs, they have vertical profiling floats, and so that's a mission task. They have marketing displays, which you can see a lot of. I hope you get some footage of the marketing displays. They are doing engineering presentations upstairs in the classroom, so lots of moving parts, but they're all working towards really gaining the skills that they will need when they go out into the world of ocean science and technology.
And Joe, like Jill said, this is the third time hosted here in St. John's, so tell me how nice it is to have it right here at Marine Institute.
It's great to have it here at the Marine Institute. Hopefully we'll have a fourth time before 10 more years.
Yeah, right.
Really great thing is our ability to, the themes of this year are really related to what's going on in our backyard, dealing a lot with the invasive green crab that we see on our south coast, how icebergs have a risk assessment for offshore oil and gas, cold water corals that were discovered off the Funk Islands out near Fogo, and all of that stuff is, like I said, the ocean tech that's happening right here. And then you get to expose, hey, you want to do a career? Come to Memorial University or the Marine Institute, and you can be a pilot, a ship captain, marine environmental scientist, ocean mapper, all those themes that have, push people towards those careers.
Movie and music news now. Here's CNN's Douglas Hyde with today's Hollywood Minute.
You really can't help yourself, can you?
Hell to the no, I can't.
Donkey returns to the big screen next year in Shrek 5, and it looks like we'll be seeing even more of him after that. A solo Donkey origin story's in the works and set to hit the big screen in 2028. Eddie Murphy will be back, of course, to lend his voice to the Shrek sidekick.
Everyone had the same experience, except I was the one that could stand on the soapbox and articulate what we were going through.
Jay-Z reunites with collaborator and legendary music producer Rick Rubin for a candid conversation in Jay-Z in 8. The 8-part documentary series debuts on HBO Max this fall and takes an in-depth look at the iconic rapper's life and music.
Stay with us while we take one more break on the NTV Evening News Hour. Mary Kate O'Neill will be back to recap the weather forecast. A lovely Friday evening out there. And when we return, Jim Furlong will have Today in History.
Welcome back to the NTV Evening News Hour. It marked the official entry of American troops into the First World War. Here is Jim Furlong with Today in History.
If you are a student of history and a student of war, you need to know this evening that the first 14,000 American troops in World War I landed in France on this date in history. The place was Saint-Nazaire, and the location had been kept secret for fear of, U-boats. The doughboys, they were called, the Americans, they were called that by the British. They were green, they were untrained, But not for long. U.S. General John Pershing, Black Jack Pershing, he whipped them into order. In October of that same year, they were in the trenches in the fight. It made a difference, a big difference. The Americans, their first steps in the Great War began on the 26th of June. Do you know? What was this date in history? This is Jim Perling for the MTV Evening News Hour.
In our MQO question of the week, we ask, do you agree with the Premier's promise to change the law to ensure parents have access to their kids' health information? To vote, call 1-855-279-7887 or go online at ntv.ca/QOW. We'll have the results on Monday.
Birthdays and anniversaries brought to you by the Healthcare Foundation. We are the foundation that takes action so we all can take care of each other.
We are beginning this evening with a photo of this beautiful couple. You're looking at Hannah and Neil Power celebrating a 60th wedding anniversary. Congratulations to you both. Happy 55th wedding anniversary to Malachy and Teresa O'Flaherty of Northern Bay. Phyllis Brace of Bishop's Falls celebrating a 90th birthday. Happy 57th anniversary to Harold and Shirley Clark of Cupids. Joy and Harold Brown and Bay Roberts celebrating a 50th anniversary. Happy 50th anniversary to Raymond and Trudy Duggan in Mount Pearl. Brenda and Clem Peddle of Buchan celebrating a 55th anniversary. Happy 56th anniversary to Frank and Alicia Tilley in CBS. Hubert and Karen Bold, formerly of Grand Lapierre, now living in Fort McMurray, celebrating a 50th anniversary. Happy 51st anniversary to Bill and Marion Murphy in Marystown. Ezra and Vianne Saunders from St. Lunaire Gricket, celebrating a 55th wedding anniversary. Happy 50th anniversary to Gussie and Debbie Hines. Marguerite Jane Sutton of Stephenville is celebrating a 94th birthday. Happy 60th wedding anniversary to Georgina and Varick Hillier. Happy 50th anniversary to Pastors Glenn and Enid Chalk. They live in Pasadena. Edward and Kay Daw of Upper Gully celebrating a 62nd anniversary. Happy 55th anniversary going out to Janet and Willis Parsons. Marion Tulk is celebrating a 91st birthday, currently living in Harry's Harbor. Congratulations to you. Roy and Evelyn Green celebrating a 61st anniversary. Happy 65th anniversary to Charles and Mary George in Dildo. Wayne and Valma Parsons of Spaniards Bay celebrating a 52nd anniversary. Happy 91st birthday to Mary and Han in Burgeo. Calvin and Virginia Payne of St. John celebrating a 66th anniversary. Happy 56th wedding anniversary going up to Fred and Isabel Blackmore of Georges Brook, Milton. Floretta Fancy of Glenwood is celebrating a 95th birthday. Happy 55th wedding anniversary to Gerald and Maureen O'Reilly of Jersey Side. Max and June White of Pasadena celebrating a 55th wedding anniversary. Happy 50th anniversary to Beverly and Tom Target of Massey Drive. Happy 70th wedding anniversary to George and Mary Gouju. Edgar Pilgrim is celebrating a big 92nd birthday. Congratulations, sir. Happy 50th anniversary to Aloysius and Jenny English. Reverend Pam and Eric Norman of Bay Roberts celebrating a 50th wedding anniversary. Happy 57th anniversary to Bill and Bernice Russell in Bay Roberts. Joan and Randall Pope of Comfort Cove celebrating a 59th wedding anniversary. Happy 50th anniversary to Tony and Hilda Fleming. Happy 57th anniversary going out to David and Shirley Elliott. They live in Twillingate. Gary and Barbara Boland in St. John's celebrating a 50th anniversary. Happy 91st birthday to Frank Dodge Sr. of Ballorem. Madeline and Chess Tilley celebrating a 56th wedding anniversary. Happy 58th anniversary to Bernie and Lorna Hayward. They live in Gander. Linda and Ern Churchill are celebrating a 50th wedding anniversary in Portugal Cove. Glenn and Beverly Fisher in Bonavista celebrating a 50th anniversary. Happy 52nd anniversary to Cyril and Iona Muse in Birchie Bay. Mary and Alex Park celebrating their 56th wedding anniversary in Cox's Cove. Eileen Purdy of Pilley's Island and Corner Brook, now living in St. John's, celebrating a 90th birthday. Happy 50th wedding anniversary going out to Albert and Florence Moore of Fortune. Lloyd and Phyllis Drover celebrating their 57th wedding anniversary. Happy 90th birthday to Audrey Hatcher. Joy and Steve Power, living in Pinchgut Lake, Corner Brook, celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. Happy 50th anniversary as well going out to Don and Debbie Dwyer. Ron and Dot Cooper in Burgeo celebrating a 50th anniversary. Happy 55th anniversary to Bill and Sharon Drover. Pauline Dalton of Harbor, Maine, celebrating a big 90th birthday with a beautiful smile. Bill and Diana Wiseman are celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. Ron and Joan Kent celebrating a 50th anniversary as well. And finally this evening, happy 65th wedding anniversary to Walter and Pauline Walsh in Harbor Grace.
Well, it's shaping up to be a pretty nice evening and a pretty nice weekend province-wide, and just really nice here across the island. A couple of showers here for this evening and it's tomorrow for Labrador, but it looks like mostly just sunshine, a little bit of cloud coverage and some showers, but we'll take that with some nice high temperatures and sunshine in the mix for next week. And of course, Ryan will be back on Monday to give you all the details, and I'm sure everyone's really excited to see him back here in studio, and I know you are as well, Michael and Tony.
I'm just kidding. Yes, of course I am. But I love seeing you too, Mary Kate. Thanks so much for this.
I had so much fun with you guys.
And thanks to all of you for joining the three of us this week on the NTV Evening News app.
Stay with us. Up next on Global National, the response to the Venezuela earthquake. Good night.
Good night.